in joining me, shoot me the word, DM me the word sales hour, and I'll get you over the link. Share this live with one person, by the way. We got a little over 14 people on here. Dom, Anton said, need to stop by to see you. Yes, please do so. Dom, what's going on? Love the consistency, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. Max is the GOAT. I appreciate it. Sorry I had kids Christmas at school. Got it. Cool. Yeah, no, man, we missed you. So we had a really great conversation yesterday. So for those of you, again, that don't know, I have the live training, the sales hour, every single Tuesday at 6 p.m. Arizona time. So if you can join, come through. Hey, it doesn't cost you anything but your time. And so what's crazy is I called someone out today on my Discord community because, they're always asking questions. They're always, they bought my product, and they bought my script, my closer script, and then they bought the cold call script. So I mentioned, I said, why aren't you on the live calls? Like, that doesn't cost you anything, right? And so he responded, he's like, yeah, I'll be there for sure. So again, most of you guys, I get a DM, I'll get you DMing me questions, and I'm like, you should be on these live calls. I post it every single time on Mondays and Tuesdays that I'm gonna go live. And once you registered, you're going to be in the club per se, right? So make sure that you're there. Great stuff that we're talking about. Let's see. Real Dom asked the question, what's the number one sales tip for new wholesalers? Woo! That is a loaded question, bro. We can be here all night talking about that. But I think the number one tip for new wholesalers is just that, what you just said. I think the answer's in the question, brother. And the way I'm going to explain that is this way. When people get into wholesaling, the number one mistake that people make, and this is where the tip comes in for your question, is that they mistaken wholesaling for real estate investing, right? I've been preaching this for a very long time, and then other guys started preaching it as well, is understand the number one tip that I can give you for new wholesalers that are just starting out is you have to work on your sales skills, right? It's a marketing and sales game at the end of the day. And so, and the biggest thing is that understanding that from the get-go, which, most people don't, they make the mistake that, yes, you have to learn how to analyze a deal. Yes, you have to learn, general what repair costs are. But the bigger thing is that you have to learn, you have to work on your craft when it comes to sales. If you want to be a high performing closer, if you want to be good in this business, you have to learn how to, you have to learn how to work on your skill set. Particularly when it comes to starting conversations. I see this a lot. This is kind of going back to your question, Dominic, that most people don't even know how to start a conversation because they don't work on their craft, right? I posted a video today, a Reels, talking about that. If you can get the calls are won and lost in the beginning of the conversation. If you can get a prospect feeling comfortable and instill confidence in them when they first pick up that phone, because why? Because you're very clear, you're very direct, and you're very concise in your message of why you're calling, right? And here's the thing. What does concise means? Short. Not, hey, this is Max with Top Dog Real Estate Company. We buy 30 houses a month, and we're the best in the game, and we're trying to do this, and we're looking to buy. Like, nobody cares about that. They don't care about that. Nobody cares about your company. Nobody cares how many deals you buy. Nobody cares. The sellers care about themselves. That's what they care about. So if you can be, again, the answer's in that question. The tip is understand when you're getting into wholesaling, you are basically in the marketing and sales game. The marketing piece you can outsource. Obviously you're gonna have to do it in the beginning, but it's very simple to outsource. What you can outsource and what you can outsource out the gate, and what I don't recommend you outsourcing is the closing, the negotiations, your sales calls, because if you don't know how that works, how are you supposed to train somebody to get the results that you're wanting to get? But going back to what I was saying is that calls are won and lost in the beginning of the phone call. Now, there's some veterans in here, like Daniel Q's a veteran, Jen's a veteran, Dom is a veteran, you got Aaron in here. And we can sit here and argue, not argue, debate, right? Like we, Daniel Q, Jen, Dom, a few other people that are in here, we can always get it back, right? If we make a mistake, because we have that experience already and we understand how to get back in position, right? And that's what sales is all about, is positioning. So right out of the gate, if you can position yourself, right? If you can position yourself by instilling confidence in your prospect, and again, being short, being direct, clear, and concise with your pitch in the beginning, that's going to help you to be able to transition the conversation to anywhere you want. Because the problem is that most of these scripts and most of these like training and most people out there, good, bad, or indifferent, a lot of these intros, they cause unnecessary objections. And it boggles me how much, this business is already difficult because number one is you're not selling anything, right? You're not selling a service. You're not selling a product. But you are selling rapport and you're selling an offer. But the only way you can sell someone on your offer, the only way that you can sell someone, building rapport, building the trust, and then selling them on your offer, is to make sure that you instill confidence in them to understand that you know what you're doing, right? And look, some of it's going to come from experience. I'm not saying like you're going to be super confident, but if you can just at least the basics of the beginning of the conversation, like don't stutter, don't use words like I'm just looking for, I don't know if you can help me, or I don't know if I have the right number, or all this stuff that will automatically create the defense mechanisms from your prospect. So you have to be careful with that, and in a long-winded way, Dominic, hopefully that, that puts a perspective on, for new wholesalers, because I see this mistake happen a lot. I see this on a lot of calls. Even some veterans still do it, right? But again, like I said, we can debate. We got some new, some OGs in here that we can debate, and we can overcome those things, little mistakes that we make here because of the experience. But when you're first starting out, you got to be able to deliver. You got to be able to work. And that comes only, again, from working on your craft. Yep, exactly. Reps. Going out, messing it up. The other thing, too, I'm going to say this, for what would be the number one tip for a new wholesaler is this. Stop trying to get all the information to perfect your craft. That does not work. That does not work. You cannot get enough information to perfect your craft, because you will never know what to correct, because you're not out messing it up. You're not out. If you're not out taking action and you're not out doing the work and saying, oh man, I messed up in the intro. Let me go back. How do I fix it? Where do I make the adjustments? Oh man, I messed up on the pitch for my offer. Man, where do I go back? All you're doing is you're basically you're wanting all this information, right? And you're not taking action, and you're trying to perfect something that you're not making mistakes on. And you won't ever be able to do that, right? That's why people have analysis paralysis. That's why people never get anything, they never get results. You gotta listen. One of the things that I always tell new team members that come on my team is that you have the permission to mess it up. I want you to mess it up. I want you to mess it up, because that's the way you're going to get better, right? You cannot you can't improve upon anything you're not taking action on, right? And so I see this mistake happen way too much, where people are just like, give me the info, give me the info, give me the info. I'm not ready yet. Give me the info, give me the info. And then like, you'll never be ready, right? You're a professional student and professionally educated, but in reality, you're not, you're not taking action. You're not improving anything. All you're doing is improving your stack of information. That's it. And so you have to be careful with that when you're starting off new. Again, great question, because let's see some of the comments here. I want to go through, because man, you guys I appreciate you all from jumping on here. DJ, what's going on? Alice, appreciate it. Let's see. Ivan, the realtor, what's going on? Daniel said, bro, please say that. Let's go. Yeah, exactly. And I think I caught your comment right when I was talking about the reason why this business is so difficult, because we're not selling anything. We're not selling a product. We're not selling a service. We're selling rapport, and we're selling an offer. And that's the thing. That's why you have to work. This is one of the hardest sales position acquisitions. It's one of the hardest positions because you have to work at your craft at a higher level, right? And so, because again, you're not selling anything. Let's see. Real Dumb says knowledge of your product equals confidence. I have to disagree just a little bit. I'm not saying that that's not 100% true, but you can have all the knowledge you want, but it's not going to give you confidence to really get on the phones and really talk. Now, yes, like I said earlier, you got to know how to analyze a deal. You got to know the basics of, repair costs. You got to know like some functions of your business. But in reality, it all comes down to what I was saying earlier, right? Is the practice, right? The sales side of it. Tina Luna says reps. Marie says facts. What's up, Manuel? Pew pew. Corey said, I used your pitch today on asking the owner if they could help me out. I'm trying to find the owner of this address. He answered almost per your script you taught us on that call. Dude, I love that, Corey. That is freaking awesome, bro. I know that you've been coming on the calls, on every single call. You haven't missed it. By the way, when I first started this live, for those of you that are just jumping on, if you guys don't know, I have a training that I do live every single Tuesday called the Sales Hour. It's a free live training. I'm doing it to give back to the community. And so Corey's one of the individuals that's in there. And you guys see this, right? We talked about this because Corey's doing a lot of cold calling, and we talked about how to approach, how to be direct, how to be clear, and how to be concise. I said earlier, nobody cares about I am with Top Dog Real Estate Buyer. I buy 40 properties a month, and we are the best, and we do this and we do that. Like, sellers can care less about that. Now, there's going to be a time when, yes, credibility matters at some point if the seller requested it. But if you're pitching it, if you're starting your calls like that, yeah, the seller doesn't care. But I love that, Corey. I love that you're putting in the reps and you're actually perfecting your craft, and you're working on your craft by the mistakes you're doing. Anton says, get on the phones. Exactly. Isaac says, you want to find out if they're a prospect or a suspect. Absolutely. And this is the other thing too, is that you're going to have people, you're going to have, this is why you have to work on your craft. And you have to work on your skill set. You have to be able to elevate those things, because you're going to get caught up talking to prospect. Look, it happens to the best of us, where we believe that sometimes they're a prospect, but they're really a suspect. So you have to be careful with that. You will get better as you go. Absolutely. Anton said, love this advice. Daniel said, Max is preaching tonight. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. You won't hit the target unless you go out and shoot. Exactly. In La Closers Lab, they said, do you do PPC or cold call? We do PPC, bro. Product knowledge can hurt more than it helps. Yes, exactly. 100%. It's crazy you say that, Daniel, because it's so true, right? When you rely solely on product and knowledge, and I love that comment. I'm gonna elaborate a little bit more on that comment. When you rely solely or majority of your conversation on product knowledge, you sell from a standpoint of features and benefits, right? You don't sell from a standpoint of solving a problem. You sell from a standpoint of, here are the features, here are the benefits. Do you want to do business? And that is not the position that you want to be in, right? You want to be able to have product knowledge when it comes to the fulfillment part of your conversation, like, or for example, when you're trying to solve a prospect's problem or something that they're dealing with. But you definitely want to make sure that you don't rely only on product knowledge, because again, you sell from a position of features and benefits, which if you have a motivated seller, man, it works, right? Motivated seller, you can tell them, hey, the sky's green and the grass is blue, and you're going to sign a contract. So, but how many of us know that that's very far in between right now in this market? So the house is the second, the pain point is first. Absolutely. Number one, Jen says facts. Max, you added so much value to operation. Man, I really appreciate it, bro. It was fun. Yeah, Daniel, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you rely too much on product knowledge, most of your sales is going to come from the features and benefits aspect, and you don't want to be in that position. And so you want to have product knowledge. In this case for us, right? In this case for us, it's like, yeah, you want to learn how to analyze a deal. Yes, you want to, get an idea of what could repair cost be. Yes, you want to learn the process of closing escrow. Yes, you want to know the process of, working with buyers and things like that. But necessarily, at the end of the day, what it comes down to is how are your negotiation skills and your ability to sell rapport. Your ability to sell an offer where the prospect feels comfortable. Listen to me. Listen to these two words. Listen to what I'm going to say. Where the prospect feels comfortable and they trust you enough to do business. Not like you. Get that out of your head, man. That's noise, right? And some of you have heard this over and over and over. Prospects do business with people they like and trust. Like, dude, I like a lot of people. I like a lot of you. But I don't trust a lot of people, and I don't trust a lot of you with, I'm just kidding, with certain amount of money, with certain things, right? But I like you. I mean, I like you. You're cool and everything. But think about that, right? Most of you have family members. Most of you family that you like and love, right? But do you trust them enough to give them money? Do you trust them enough to, provide something that is going to ruin the relationship? No, right? I guarantee you 100% of you would say no. I'm the same boat. So, again, you got to get good. This is why salespeople suck. This is my title right here of this life. This is why salespeople suck. Because number one is, especially in our industry, wholesaling specifically, is that you have to understand that your approach has to be very different, right? You're not selling a product. You're not selling a service. You're selling rapport. You're selling a rapport, and then you're selling an offer to solve the prospect's problem so they feel comfortable and trust you to do business with you, right? And here's the thing is, like, a lot of salespeople, man, it's like I've had salespeople come from all kinds of different industry to join our team, right? And they come in very confident because they've done really well in some other industries, car sales, solar sales. Solar sales is still, I think solar sales for the most part, even though you're selling a product, it has somewhat of a connotation of what we do, right? Because you're technically trying to sell them, right, on a solution. So even though it's a product solution, but still. Also, the other thing too, there's a few other industries out there that are similar, but if you line them up all together, the at the end of the day, this is probably the hardest sell you're ever going to make, right? Because again, we're not selling a product or a service, right? How many of you guys agree on that? Drop a fire emoji. Drop a comment in the comment section. I'm gonna go through the comments. How many of you agree with that? And let me know if you have any questions. I want to answer some questions on the conversation that we had. Steven Morales, I don't know if you're still out here, bro. Thank you for jumping on. Anton, man, I have nothing but love for you, bro. I appreciate you. Let's see. Anton, appreciate the fire emojis. Thank you, MVP, for the fire emojis. Any questions that I can help answer? Listen, again, for those of you that just jumped on, I have a training that I do every single Tuesday called the Sales Hour live at 6 p.m. Arizona time. And everyone and anyone is welcome to join. And we spend about an hour, 15 minutes talking about these specific topics. We dive deep into, your situation that you're having with sellers or whatever the case may be, any sales question. And that's something that I'm doing every single Tuesday. So if you do want to join that, DM me the word Sales Hour. I'll shoot you over the link, or you can go to my bio, sign up there. The link is there as well. If you don't feel like, shooting me a DM, you can go to my bio and basically, sign up there. Where's the questions at? Dom set off a chain reaction here. I love his question. Great question, by the way. I think that's kind of, this is the purpose of this, like asking questions, right? You got to ask questions. Something that I said on a live one time, and I've said this multiple times, is that there is no stupid question, okay? Only stupid people because they didn't ask the question. So remember that. There is no stupid question. Got something great coming up for the new year, man. We're about to what is it called? Set off a chain of reaction. Do deals with me live. That's gonna happen in January. We're gonna be going live. I'll get all the details out. Can't really talk right now. It's in the works. But we're gonna be going do deals with me live. Gonna be going live and calling sellers. We're gonna be going live and basically negotiation, just like I did with the Closers Lab experience. I don't know if you guys remember that. On the Closers Lab experience, I went live and I basically did a whole 3-hour section. Or 3-hour block, and we went through our numbers, we went through our scorecard, we went through our recon sheet. So it's going to be something similar to that, but it's going to be on another stage, another level. Like, we're really going to bring it. We're very excited about that. It's something that I'm looking forward to for 2024. We're doing all the preparation right now to make sure we have the right leads, to make sure that we have all the platforms correctly. But please be on the lookout for that. Definitely looking forward to that. So let's see what questions over here. Where all the cool people at? Mary said, looking forward to working with you on Twitter. Let's go. Let's do it. Thank you, Manuel, for posting the link. I don't know if it's clickable, but people can, screenshot it. And so, any questions that I can help answer? I appreciate everyone's engagement, everyone dropping comments and fire emojis. Thank you guys for that. So anybody have any questions that I can answer? Corey said, my oldest son is graduating high school in a few months. How can I get him started in the business? That's a great question. I love it. First, I think you got to have a good conversation with him. And then, obviously, if it's, something that he would like to do, maybe you can have him do little tasks. Start him off with little tasks. I wouldn't drop on the phones right away. Just figure out, like, what are his likes, and see. Get him around you. Get him around what you do daily. Get him around him seeing, what you're doing day in and day out, right? And then give him little tasks like, hey, I want you to help me today for a couple hours. Like, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I need help with. Have him get around you. Get him around you. Get him around, what you're doing, so that way he can physically see, touch, feel, right, what it is you're doing. And then that way you give him little tasks, so that way he can, really get a good grasp of what you're doing. Because if you just like, hey, all right, you're done with school, you're going to come help me and get on the phone. So you're going to be like, what? So I would set a little bit of a plan to have him be around you, and that way he can get a grasp of what you're doing, and he can visually see it, and he can, again, touch, feel, and then see what you're doing. So that way maybe he'd be like, oh, I'd like to do that. Can I get on the phone to talk to sellers? Absolutely. Let's do it. And so I highly recommend doing that. Real Danny said, I'm studying English because I want to start in real estate. Any advice? Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, it's I'm assuming that your language, your main language is Spanish. I mean, honestly, man, I would say if you're kudos to you, first of all, for studying English and trying to better yourself and trying to push towards getting into this business. I think that's a big challenge, but I believe that you can do it. If you already started it, don't stop and finish. The biggest thing I can say is this, just like what I was talking about earlier, Danny, is that you need to practice, bro. Practice what you're learning. Don't try to learn everything so you can practice. Practice what you're learning so you can learn more, right? Most people have it backwards. I talked about this earlier. Everybody wants all the information but doesn't want to put in the reps and practice. So all I'm saying is that practice what you're learning so you're able to learn more, and you're going to make the mistakes. It's okay. What you're going to find out is that, and listen, I'm going to tell you something. If you're just practicing with your family and you're practicing with friends and you're getting embarrassed because they're making fun of you, a lot of times you're going to have to go outside of that circle, right? And you're going to find out that there's more people that will support you than not, right? Help you to get better. And so I would say that, get practice. So What are your goals for 2024? That's a great question. I mean, obviously, we could sit here all night and talk about goals, but real quick, I mean, for me, honestly, I feel like, and this is something that we all struggle with. I think, Daniel's in here, a few other people are in here. Like, how can we do more in regards to giving back, right? It's always that challenge and that balance. So one of my main things that I want to do is that, I want to grow what I'm doing in regards to giving back, and what I mean by that is that's one of my biggest goals is not so much make myself available to everyone, but I want to be able to provide more valuable content, more value to the community, because honestly, like, what I do has changed my life, has changed my family's life, and I want more people to know about that, right? I want more people to really, understand that. And you might say, well, there's a lot of people that are doing that now, or it's so saturated, or where the case may be. But just like this call today, right? That question is, what do you tell someone that is just starting now? I want to do it at another level, a high level, right? I want to do it at a level where you would have to go pay $10,000 to get into a mastermind, where in reality you can just join me on a free, Zoom call on Tuesdays, or a live, right? So that's kind of my goal. That's one of my big goals. And obviously there's other goals as far as income and all that stuff. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to 2024. I think it's going to be a really great opportunity for those that are ready, us that are ready, skill wise and tool wise, right? Because you're going to need skill set and tool set like never before. So I'm super excited about that. Obviously, we're looking to scale our business, and and I think you're going to be help with that. Daniel said, love that. Appreciate you, Daniel. Steve Francis, what's going on, bro? Good work. Good talking to you today. Yazzer, what's up, property captain? What's going on, brother? Just here chatting it up. Any other questions you guys might have? I love the conversation. Again, I broke down a little bit, as far as like why salespeople suck, right? Why are they struggling? I have a presentation called Why Salespeople Struggle, and I'll talk a little bit about it here with you guys. Is that number one, right? We already covered this. Is that they don't take enough action? It's I'm a big believer, and I've said this a lot. Yasser's been part of some of the training that I've done. Him and his team as well. Is that you can never improve upon what you're not taking action, right? That's the number one thing. Number two is that you got to take your craft serious. I started this live saying that the mistake that most people make when they're getting into this business is that not realizing that, hey, this is a marketing and sales business, right? Whether you could say like marketing is more important than sales, or sales is more important than marketing, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they are both needed. Marketing needs to generate an opportunity, and sales needs to close that opportunity, right? So it doesn't matter. I mean, they're both equally important. So working on your craft, you have to do it every single day. You got to be working on the craft. And then the last thing is that you got to work on your belief system. Listen to what I'm going to say. I think this is the most important thing, and I don't think it's talked about enough. And actually, it is talked about on social media, but it's so watered down now that it's stupid, right? It's ridiculous. Yeah, mindset, whatever. You have to work on your belief system, and I'm going to share a story. I'm going to tell you why. Because I can ask every one of you that are on this call right now, and all of us probably grew up different. We all have different backgrounds. So all of us grew up having different backgrounds when it comes to finances, money, relationships, all these things that we do in this business, right? So here's a funny story, and I laugh at this now, right? But maybe you won't think it's funny, but I actually didn't know what a checking account was until I met my wife when I was like 18. All I did was get paid in cash. If you're Mexican, you know what I'm talking about, right? You get paid cash. I never had a checking account. I always used to go to a checks cash place. I didn't know how a checking account worked because I didn't grow up in a household that taught about finances. I didn't grow up in a household, you know what I mean? And so when you think about that and you're trying to change your whole world and you're trying to change your reality by whatever it is, right? Whatever that vehicle is. And so putting a whole new meaning to cash is king. Absolutely, bro. Fake ID and all. Oops, did I just say that online? Fake ID. So you have to change your belief, IEF, right? Belief system, because subconsciously that travels with you. Consciously, you're not thinking about it, but subconsciously that travels with you, right? So think about, you're on the phones, you're in a house, whatever, you're calling agents, if you're, if that's what you do, and you're talking to a total stranger. You grew up never really knowing how to build relationships with people, right? Don't talk to strangers, keep your mouth shut when you go to the store, don't look at anyone, all this stuff, right? Whatever it was. And now you're calling strangers, right? Now you're calling strangers. You're trying to get a super nice deal. If it's a cash offer, you're trying to get it at a deep discount. If it's something creative that's going to change your trajectory, right? To put in a rental portfolio. But again, you don't know what a checking account is. So when you're on the phones and you're making these calls, consciously, you're not thinking about that. But subconsciously, guess what starts to happen is like, Max, you think you really deserve this opportunity? You think you deserve like what you're doing? You really think that you're worth like what you're trying to do? That is the biggest part that you got to do. And most salespeople and most sales trainers don't talk about that. They talk about mindset, right? Which is fine. It's almost the same thing. But I take it a step further to talk about you have to change your belief system, right? Whatever that programming that you had, because it's going to be an obstacle. Listen, you can take all the action you want. You can, learn all the skills that you want to learn. But if your belief system is still, if you're not working on rewiring yourself by depositing new information, by getting around people that are positive, by getting around people that are, basically encouraging you to change how you think, it's going to be tough and it's going to be difficult. And that's why the majority of people give up. Not because they don't have the skills, not because they don't gain the skills or they don't take action. It's because their belief system creeps up on them. Right? You didn't even know what a checking account was, man, bro. You've never even had a real relationship. Like, what do you think you're doing? Subconsciously, it starts to creep up, and then you act it out and say, man, do I really want to do this? I mean, is this really for me? Like, this is tiring. And so when you change your belief system, it does two things. It helps you to overcome all the obstacles that you're running into, right? And then it helps you to really know that you deserve it. There you go. Exactly, Jermaine. Exactly, right? It helps you to overcome the obstacles, and it helps you to really understand that you deserve it but you have to change your belief system. So those three things says, number one, work on your craft diligently, work on your craft extensively every single time that you get a chance, work on your craft. Number two, take action, man. You got to take action. You can never improve upon anything you're not messing up on. Everybody keeps trying to get more information. And you're not out making mistakes to be able to correct, right? So you become, again, like I said, a professional student, you become professionally educated. And then the last thing, like I said, is you have to work on changing your belief system. You got to know that you deserve it, that this is for you. And that comes with selling out, right? Understanding that, when you are learning things, learn for the now. Don't just learn for the what is it called? For the reason of just to entertain yourself. Most of us run around here entertaining ourselves. We don't educate ourselves. And what I mean by that is, think about the last time you watched a YouTube video or you read a book or you basically, I don't know, you saw a cool post or something. If you didn't do any of those things that were in the book that you saw in the podcast, that you heard on the podcast or anything like that, like all you did was entertain yourself. You have to be careful with that. That's why when people recommend books to me, I say, yeah, I take it, and then I save it if it's not something that's applicable for right now, because I don't want to just entertain myself anymore. I'm educating myself, and that's what helps to change your belief system. So, bam, let's go. Drop some fire emojis. if you're getting value out of this. Drop some fire emojis, put some thumbs up, hit those hearts on the left-hand side there with your thumb. I know you're holding your phone right now. Any questions? Been out here for about 30 minutes now. Any questions? Appreciate the thumbs up. Thank you. Marie said, that's my daily routine to educate myself. Absolutely. You gotta be able to do that. Appreciate the fire emojis. Thank you. Don't be entertaining yourself. Educate yourself. Cool. I am going to if there's no more questions that I can help with or answer, I'm going to get ready to appreciate the fire emojis. Thank you, Jermaine. I hope you're doing good, bro. I see you're always crushing it. So, Real Danny, appreciate the fire emojis. Thank you for that. MVP said, always dropping gold nuggets. I appreciate it. What's your morning routine? Ooh, that's a great question. So my morning routine and my calendar is huge. That's the other thing, is I live and die by my calendar. If you don't use your calendar, I don't know what you're doing. Because if it's important enough to you, it should be on your calendar. If it's income generating activity, it should be on a calendar. So my calendar is a living organism, right? I'm always looking at them. I'm always basically always working on it, perfect it. So that's part of, I'm saying all this because I'm going to get to your question here. My morning routine now it's constantly evolving to fit where I'm at currently. The morning routine I did 6 months ago doesn't work for right now. So one thing you have to remember, that it's constantly evolving for what I need. It goes back to, hey, I don't want to entertain myself. I want to educate myself. So the morning routine I did 6 months ago, the morning routine I did a year ago, it does not work for Max right now, right? And so that's why I said my calendar is a living organism. I'm always looking to where can I adjust? Where can I make better? And right now, currently, what I'm doing for my morning routine is I get up at 5 a.m. every single day, right? I do my normal stuff when I get up. And then, my first thing that I do is I do prayer. So I do about 10, 15 minutes of prayer. And then I work out. I work out 45 minutes to an hour. So that's right away I do that. I go to work out and I'm working out right now 6 days a week. I just started that routine, by the way. So I started that last month right before Thanksgiving. So that's my new routine right now. I'm working out 6 days a week, because I have some goals that I want to hit. I got some goals, health goals. I'm not letting health determine my 2024. And then after that, once I get done with my workout, typically I'm done anywhere between 6:15 to 6:30. Then what happens is that I have about a 25 minute buffer where I make my wife breakfast, my daughter breakfast. I make them coffee and stuff. And then once I do that, get my stuff prepared for the day, I sit down and then I observe. That's somewhere around like 6:45 to 7. I observe what my day is going to look like, and then I either read something or I'll listen to something. And then I usually end up, I'm getting ready around like 7:45. So that's my morning routine every single day right now. And it's working well, man. I love this new morning routine I got, waking up at 5 a.m. every day. And like I said, it's definitely something that, he says, bro, you never make me breakfast. Come through, bro. I'll make you some breakfast. You already know, bro. I got you. But that's a great question. But again, you got to be a bit careful with morning routines. Again, like I said, what the morning routine that I had 6 months ago is not the morning routine that's working right now for myself, right? Like I'm always constantly evolving to make sure that I'm like at the highest peak ever mentally, right? Mentally. And so, cause we're evolving, bro. We're growing, we evolve. And if you stay stale, believe me, it's going to hinder you. So that's why you have to be careful, right? That's a nugget for you guys right there, right? We're evolving creatures, and we evolve ourselves in our growth, right? So you can't do what you did last year and what you did 6 months ago is not going to get you to the next 90 days, the next 6 months. So you have to constantly evolve. You have to constantly be writing down what you want. I showed someone this the other day, dude. I have over I have close to 1,200 to 1,500 notes in and I use an iPad to write all my notes. I don't do any more paper. I use a pencil, right? I use the Apple Pencil. But I have over close to 1,200 to 1,500 notes saved, and that's from everything, right? Spiritual, physical, business, personal goals, like all that stuff that I've been doing for the last, whatever years. And so they were like, damn, that's a lot of notes. And so, and diary and all that stuff. But again, it's very important that you're evolving, and everything around you has to evolve with you, right? Your morning routine, your daily, whatever it is that you do, everything that you're doing every single day, it has to serve you, right? And so, do you have the recon sheet in the Discord? I don't, but I will. I'll put it there. I don't know if it'll be tonight, but probably in the morning, Jim. Okay. Anton, appreciate you, brother, as well. Jermaine in the house. Jermaine says, I'm grateful, stay blessed, and fortunate forever, my guy. You're man. Appreciate you, bro. Love you, man. Marie says, no lies told here. Daniel says, where do you do your notes? We had a whole topic on this today on our call. That's crazy, dude. That's a great question. So in my house, I have like this little area that's got like two like really nice single seat sofas. In the middle, I have a table with a plant on it. So that's typically I do it there just because it's relaxing. And so I do it as well just for you guys. Here's a tip. After I'm done with my workout, I forgot about this. And then I do all the stuff, the breakfast and all that. I do a 5 minute. If I finish early, I'll do a 10-minute, but typically I'm doing a 5-minute meditation. And then I kind of just mellow out for a little bit, and then I start to write. But I do have a little nice area here in my house where it's just like a secluded area where it's got two really nice single seat sofas, kind of like a podcast vibe, right? The table in the middle, and then it's got a plant, and it's got two coasters that say San Diego. Man, and I'm loving that, bro. That space is really nice in the morning, just sitting there drinking some coffee. So, but yeah, man, that'd be interesting, man. I want to know, like, I want to know. That's an interesting comment there that you guys had that conversation about where you write your notes, because I think it matters, right? I think it's important. It can't just be rando. Like, it has to be a place where it gives the vibes for you to actually write. So it makes sense. Obviously there's always going to be situations where, you're out and about or you're doing certain things. Like my iPad goes with me everywhere. I have the little iPad Air, which is like, not the big one, but the medium sized one. So it goes everywhere with me, everywhere I go. So if I ever need to write something, I'm ready. So cool. Great question. Make sure you hit that Muscle Med Nitro test and emergency turmeric ginger. You'll be powered up all day. I love it, bro. You already know, man. Got all that on deck. So, man, great conversations. I appreciate you all. Hopefully everyone got value. Jim said, I've been doing morning walks with the YouTube live call videos. Let's go, man. Let's go, Jim. I appreciate it, bro. I love that. I love it. There we go. Heck yeah, dude. I love that you're doing that. It's great to hear that. Honestly, that means more. That means a lot. That made this whole call worth it, Jim. I appreciate you, brother. And there's going to be more. I don't know if you heard, Jim. 2024, bro. I'm coming back. Do deals with me live. It's going to be super. I mean, we're going all out. It's going to be a whole party, man. So make sure that you're staying tuned with that. Corey said, Merry Christmas, Max. We appreciate you, Max. Corey, Merry Christmas to you as well. Stay safe. I appreciate every single one of you. Again, if you want to be part of the sales hour, that's the live training that I do every single Tuesday at 6 p.m. Arizona time. It's 7:32 right now. So, we don't change times. Everyone else does. You are crazy. But definitely shoot me a DM, or you can just go to my bio. The link is there. It's a lot faster than waiting for me to shoot you the link. You can go to my bio. The link is there, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there. Jim said, let's go. I've been dropping bags. Oh, bro. Yeah, we're gonna get back to it. Get in that group, brother. I'm telling you, get in that live, the Tuesday night calls. Listen, you can have tool set, but if you don't have skill set, it's going to be tough, right? I think the conversations matter. But I want to help you. So get in that, go register, get on the live calls on Tuesday. Like I said, you can either DM me the word sell. You can either DM me the sales hour, or you can just go to my bio, click on the link. But anyways, everyone, I really appreciate you all. Thank you all for jumping on. Great questions, great conversations. If you need something from me, hit me up. You know I'm only a DM away. Later.